Shalom, Israel. I am Judah Yahsharell. I want to do a brief video about what you should know about fleeing into the wilderness. I'm not going to spend a lot of time in this. I just want to give you guys something to consider, food for thought, and do a little studying. Just check into it. But a lot of our people, Israel namely, are terribly confused and misinformed about this subject. And I'm going to take this time to clear up some of the confusion. They talk about leaving the cities and fleeing into the deserts located in many parts of the United States, I would assume. And that would be considered wilderness. So, however, this is correct. Yes, it is correct geography. But we'll go through this one step at a time so that we can clearly understand why I'm saying this. First of all, we need to ask ourselves, when should we flee? That's very important. Second, why should we flee? These are two very important questions that most are not asking. You will be making a very big mistake taking it upon yourselves to decide when to flee. When the Most High delivered Israel out of Egypt, it was He that provided the way, the place, and the timing, not Israel. Not even Moses knew the answer to these questions. But what Moses did that we're not doing is that he took orders from the Most High and did everything the Most High told him, and the way He told him. This is key. You see, from the start, Moses did not know where he was to take Israel, and Israel didn't know where they were going. So please follow me closely. First, there are a lot of things that has to occur before we even get to this point. To begin with, the Most High has a secret place for us, and it's not in this country at all. If you really think about it for a moment, where could you go in this country that the enemy doesn't already know about? They have all the resources to track any one of us down like animals. So this would suggest that there will be a supernatural guidance in place, the Most High. When He delivered Israel from Egypt, He had already prepared a place for them. Is there a place already prepared for us today? No. There's a set time for all of this to happen, and you've got to understand that. This will happen on the Most High's timing. He's in control, and we're not the ones who set that time. And to add to that, when we get to this secret place, we have to live, we have to eat, among other necessities, and you can't possibly prepare for a time like what's about to come. Now, I mentioned earlier that there are some things that need to happen before we should flee. Like the first 3.5 years will be a false peace declared by the abomination of desolation in Jerusalem. We're told that when we see this abomination of desolation, that's when we flee. During this time, the Most High will have prepared a place for us. There is no need for us to worry about how we'll get there. I know that the Most High promised to protect us, and He promised to come and save us and deliver us into our own land. Well, this is part of the process. The fact is, all you need to do is get there. That's all you need to be concerned with. For example, Revelation 12:6, and the woman fled into the wilderness, where she had the place prepared of God, that they should feed her 1,260 days. Notice that the secret place was already prepared for Israel before they flee. But why did we have to go into the wilderness in the first place? This is where the Most High will weed out all who rebel against His commandments. So you can say the wilderness is a cleaning ground. The same thing he did before, he will do again. Remember, he led Israel into the wilderness before, when they left Egypt. And in the wilderness, they stayed 40 years. That was not the original plan. But because the people groaned and complained so much that they ended up there 40 years, until all the complainers were destroyed. So not only should you be prepared, you need to know when to go and why. And again, you need to know where you're going. Again, the time will be at the very ending of the first 3.5 years. And all you got to do is get there, to the secret place which the Most High will reveal to us. And the Most High, just like he led Israel out of Egypt, he will lead us out of here into that secret place. So now you should be able to see that we cannot make this decision to flee. There's a set time. There is a set time. And that time is at the end of the 3.5 years of this false peace that's coming. This is what will happen if you decide to leave. And like a lot of people, they are already planning to flee soon. If you leave and go into this place of your choosing, it's most likely you will be destroyed there. The Most High will not be there, so you won't have his protection. He will be in the place that he prepared for us. Also, it is at this time the 2/3 of Israel that's talked about in the scriptures will be destroyed. They are the ones who decided to do this their own way instead of waiting for the Most High. Look at Zechariah 13, verse 8. This is the 2/3. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord, 2 parts, 2/3, therein shall be cut off and die, but the 1/3 shall be left therein. This is the 2/3 that will be killed because they are stubborn, unlearned, and disobedient. Take heed to the fact that the abomination of desolation has not occurred yet. So take this time that you got now and spend it studying the word of our great and almighty King, preparing your souls for what's to come. Shalom, Israel. Peace be with you all.